My name is Sefa. Have you ever asked yourself as an e-commerce student how to compete against Amazon? Well, we did. And today we are going to answer that question. First of all, we are going to introduce you to Amazon's power and its abuse. Then we are going to analyze Amazon's business and their strategies. After that, we will try to show you possible solutions and remedies. Finally, we will talk about our conclusion. But before we start, we want to show you our survey that was possible thanks to you guys. 39 of the e-commerce students take place to illustrate and show how dominant Amazon really is. And as you can see, 100% of the participants use Amazon, whereas Asus, Zalando or eBay didn't even reach 50%. Otto from Germany has about 20%. This shows how dominant Amazon is and how they enjoy the trust they get from the customers. And the participants not only use Amazon, they also use Prime. 82% of the participants said that they use Prime services, and most popular is the Prime Video, followed by the same day delivery. 95% of the participants said that they order at least once a month. That's a huge number. And 40% of the participants don't even use price comparison websites like Idealo, Check24 or notebookbilliger.de. Is Amazon too convenient or are price margins too low? Who knows? We actually saw that nobody said that they are unsatisfied. That shows us that Amazon enjoys an overwhelming positive review and just positive comments. And last but not least, here we have a list of pros and cons you gave us for selling on Amazon. As you have seen, Amazon have a big influence on the consumer society. But is it that good that Amazon have such a powerful position? How does Amazon do it? And does it affect our online market? According to Paul Krugman, Amazon had reached a powerful position comparable to Rockefeller's Standard Oil in the 19th. He states that Amazon is abusing the power is detrimental to suppliers, customers and society. And that's why society must take action. But Krugman isn't the only one who criticizes Amazon. Berkeley professor Robert Reich says that big tech platforms are also too powerful. For example, according to Authors United, Amazon is damaging the ebook or the book industry. For example, in form of squeezing suppliers, attacking aggressive against competitors, and destroying the local stores, and much more. These allegations against Amazon keep piling up. To summarize, Amazon abuses their power on the top at the expense of authors and publishers. Now let's take a look at Amazon's business strategy. But before we start analyzing Amazon's business strategy, we have to know more about Amazon. And nowadays, Amazon is known as the online market, everything store, and the market leader in e-commerce. But did you know that Amazon was founded in 1994 by Jeff Bezos? Yes? But did you also know that Amazon started as an e-book store? Yeah. Amazon or Jeff Bezos' vision was to create a customer-centric online shop where you can buy anything, and he clearly accomplished it. But who is Jeff Bezos? You will probably know him as the CEO of Amazon. But did you know that Jeff Bezos started to work on a ranch, then moved to Princeton to study physics, and just later switched to electronics and computer science? And before he founded Amazon, he had been working on high positions by other companies. like senior vice president or vice president. It's cool, right? Now let's get back to Amazon. Amazon has become the largest electronic company merely in 2 decades by selling basically anything you can think of, like books, movies, music, electronic products, games and toys, and much more. Amazon combines 2 business models. On the one hand, they are the online retailer who sells and buys products. On the other hand, they are offering the online marketplace where they act as the middleman. The decision what products are sold or what products are traded based on the profit consideration and varies frequently. Amazon also offers streaming and cloud computing services and data processing and networking services. They are also producing consumer electronics like Kindle or Fire Phone and business electronics like credit card readers or digital content like games or ebooks. They are also currently looking forward to enter the market, the online market of emailing and booking services. Besides internal growth, Amazon expands through company takeovers. For example, 8books, a rare and out-of-print bookshop in 2008, or robot technology company Kiva Systems in 2012, or Twitch, the video games streaming platform, in 2014. According to Authors United, Amazon accumulates up to, only in the US, up to 75% of online sales of physical books and more than 65% of sales of ebook sales and about 40% of total sales of newly published books.
Sam has went over how dominant Amazon is. We will talk about some possible solutions and remedies. And firstly, I will start off with Amazon Logistics, because as we all know, Amazon has superb delivery times which have set a benchmark for all of the competitors through building different fulfillment centers and delivery systems in a very big global network to be the best in their field, I guess. And this is why it's very important for online retailers to find the best possible distribution channel. And there are quite a few, and our customer Dennis, he wants to know how he can get his product through which channels. And one solution, distribution solution for example, a company who already has existing infrastructure such as stores, what they can do with relatively low investment is just send their products to the customer, in this case Dennis, via their stores. And another viable solution is through a distribution center. This may take more investment because you maybe have to build a whole warehouse and design the infrastructure, but it can help you, because as one pro of the distribution center is you could actually send to existing stores as well. From those stores you can send products to your customer as well. And lastly, there's something that kind of reminds us of dropshipping, as it's basically distribution centers who only provide to customers through the internet. And there's also hybrid structures, but they are not shown here. You have to take into account different factors while choosing the correct channel, which are firstly the geographic factors, which, for example, reach. Which market are you looking at? Are you only selling in Germany, for example? And it's also about rent and how much space you have. And when you talk about rent, you get into the sector of your investment volume. How much money do you plan on spending on the distribution system. And you also need to take into account that you need to balance online and local retail to make it more making it as efficient as possible. That leads to the supply chain. We want it to be as short as possible and as cost-savvy as possible. Okay, now let's go over an example to show you guys how you would go about picking the correct channel. So we will be talking about the Huawei GmbH, which is a made-up company we often use in BWL. And the Huawei GmbH is a German bicycle manufacturer that only sells online and in Germany. They usually fulfill small orders for private customers. Now the question is, how do we get the products most optimally to our customers? So one obvious way to do it would be through a distribution center. Why a distribution center? Well, because it's very likely that they already have a warehouse situated where they have their manufacturing facility. So you will probably not need to invest a lot, and it's easier that way because it would also make sense because you can send out your items nationally in Germany through the online market. And the good thing about the distribution center is the main distribution center would be that later on, if you decide to open up new markets and new channels, what you can do is you can provide products to them too, and from that way you create more flexibility for you and your customer. That would be, for example, easier return policies and return solutions, because your customer can just pick any other facility of yours. Okay, now we will talk about trustworthiness. As you have seen in the survey, as a collective we trust Amazon a lot. This is why we buy so much on their page. And this is just because we have become so exposed to e-businesses and buying online. So we have become more and more familiar with e-commerce, but that also made us more sensitive, and which is why there's also a growing number of reluctance to go through an order. This is why we need, as business owners, we need the customer trust, so people actually go through with the order. So trust is the big point. And there's 3 different stages that surround an interaction between customer and business. Firstly, there is prior an interaction, which is just your reputation and ratings, your Google rank, page rank, which just influences how people perceive you before an interaction. During the interaction is, for example, as a retailer, how people perceive your website. And it's just about how mature it appears and how your online page, if it's easy to use and navigate through. And after is just everything after and purchase, such as how easy it is to return an item and your overall customer service. And for online retailers, there's 2 sides to gain trust. And so there's like kind of a duality of and you need to be consistent about it. So it's kind of also like a cycle. On the one side, you have IT systems, which is kind of just the impression of the customer of you. This is your conduit. Your e-commerce platform is your channel through which people perceive you. And identity and reputation is basically everything people associate with you, your brand name, basically. And you need to match those things to gain sales and rating growth. Okay, now we will talk more about the IT system, your e-commerce platform, I guess. And what is very important is that you concentrate and focus on the UX, your user experience, and the user friendliness of your page, how easy it is to use and navigate through, because it's very off-putting for a customer when your page is very messy. So you have to focus on the UX. And the UI is basically the impression of you. So the UI has to be tied to the user experience. The user interface has to have a smart design, so it can be intuitive for your customer to use. In this way, you will create consistent user trust because your webpage just looks more or feels more mature to the customer. Now we will go. Now you will see two examples, bad and good UI, and it's clear to see that one is more minimal and just is easier to use. And the next example would be coolnav.com. It just looks very outdated, and imagine your web page looks like this. Nobody's going to want to buy there. It just looks non-contemporary and subjectively ugly. And this is a very good example, which is Apple's page. It's very minimalistic. It's easy to navigate, and it just looks very contemporary, big pictures. And this is a good example to strive for. And for your reputation, other than reviews and stuff like that, you can also have badges, trust seals, such as eTrusted, which is the most popular in Europe. And you can also have ones for data safety and security, such as Norton and McAfee, which will show your customers that your website and your page is secure in data. They will know there will not be a data leak to malicious third parties. And what will also help you is having payment options that are perceived as safe, such as PayPal and Klarna. So when you're a little smaller business, people are more inclined to buy when you have these options.
In conclusion, there are various potential solutions and remedies which can be generally or individually applied to create a competitive business structure. However, it has to be addressed that it takes more complex measures to actually beat Amazon. We have just shown you what it takes to be a contender. Thank you for listening.